Once you get the data and you understand the data very clearly, okay, what is the data, what columns represents, etc., etc. The very first point you need to do is you need to divide the data into two parts, or two or three parts. Let's say I'll take the ideal example, three parts. There is a data of 20,640K records or instances. I'm going to use the terminology from now onwards. 20,640 instances or records are there. Ideally, I need to divide into three parts. One is training set, next is validation set, third part is testing set. Three parts I need to divide. So this is the very first step. Step one, we need to do it. Once you get the data. Once you get the data, in step two, first part is we need to divide the data. Okay? Please clear so far? So what ratio I need to divide? Is it equal? So if data is 20,640, let's say some 100% of the data. I need to divide like this. What is it? Training, validation, and testing. Three parts I said to divide. Do it is a 33.3% equal division. This is not the convention we follow. There are reasons for that. How and what ratio we need to divide. There is no hard and fast rule. Okay. There is no hard and fast rule. This is our division. So this is my training set, validation set, or dev set, data, or testing set. What are the usual conventions we follow is, but it's not a hard and fast rule. I'm telling you again. 70% of the data, what we generally use for the training set. 70%. If there is 100% data, 70% is my training set. Okay. This is my validation set. This is my testing set. 70% is for training set. 10% is for validation set. 20% is for the testing set. That is what the usual division, we are a ratio of the division, we are just going to make it. What is the purpose of this training set, testing set, everything we are going to explain in soon, no need to worry. But yes, there are three, ideally, there are three divisions I need, three ratios of the division of the data I need to make it. Training set, validation set, and testing set. The ratios are usually 70, 10, 20. But don't think this is like a rule. No, this is not a rule. If some people say, no, I don't want like 70, 10, 20. I'll go for, let's say, 80 here, 5 here, 15 here. Is one personal choice. But something, the basic rule here is majority data should go to the training set. That is a basic rule. That is a rule actually. And most of the remaining data should go to this testing set. Very small amount I am going to make it for the validation. That is the rule concept actually we are going to follow. Based upon this concept, you can choose what ratio you want to make it. Clear? Maybe some people say, okay, I want to say 90% here. Only let us say 2% here, 8% here. So what are the ratios they are following? They are following this concept. Majority data will go to the training set. Remaining majority will go to the testing set. Very small amount will go to the validation. That is the concept we are generally going to use it. Is it clear so far? Anyone have any questions? No questions? Good.
Sir,
Yeah.
is it necessary like for every data set we need to give for validation set?
It's not necessary. So
Okay.
there are two. Yeah, a question. Now, to answer to your question is it's not necessary.
Okay,
I am
sir.
talking about the very ideal case. Ideally, yes, but majority people says that okay, let's not worry about it. That's what I said. Like there is a purpose for each and every set that we have not discussed it. We are going to discuss that soon. Okay, what is the purpose of the training set? What is the purpose of the validation set? What is the purpose of the testing set? That we are going to discuss. But
Okay.
answer to your question is yes, no. That's not the mandatory. Let us say I have very small amount of data. Let us say some small amount. Let us say I have very small amount of data. Generally, a machine learning model needs millions, like at least half million, 1 million, 1.5 million of data is required to train my models properly. Okay, that is the usual amount of one. Let's say I'll take a very typical example of 1 million. Means 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs of data is required to train the machine learning models. Okay, but every time do we get the 1 million of data from the client? No, because client says, hey, I don't have 10 millions, 1 million of data. I have only like some 2 lakhs data. That is the data I have for my business. From where I should get the new data for you, 8 lakhs. So we need to do our training or everything, entire project within this 2 lakhs one. So in this case, depends upon so many needs and restrictions. We're going to decide, hey, okay, let us say in this case, I'll take only 1.8 lakh for the training set, only 20K for the testing set, because the amount of data is very less. I don't want to waste my data to validate for the validation purpose. Okay. So there are some techniques we are going to discuss soon, also no need to worry. Okay. So right now I am just discussing about if once you understand the clear purpose of each and every set, then you can able to get a clear picture. Okay. So far we have not discussed that, no need to worry. But to answer to your question is yes, no, it's not mandatory that we should have the validation set. That is clear cut. Clear? So now coming to the question. So come point. What is that? There are three sets: training, validation, and testing. Three sets. What is the purpose of each and every set? Training set, whatever the amount of data you use for training set, that is going to use to train your model. So model will just keep on learning the data from the training set. It's keep on learning some knowledge from this training set. That is the only purpose of the training set. There is no other job for the training set. That is the only purpose we are going to use the training set. Clear? Is that clear? What is the purpose of the validation set? Okay. So validation set purpose is once your model is trained properly, you think your model is you trained the model enough times or enough number of times and etc. But how to know your model is trained properly or not? How to know? You have let us just simply say, just for your own example point of view, let us say you are preparing for the Python exam. There is a Python exam, you are preparing very hard. Okay. Let us say after read one textbook, let's say almost 1 month the time you spend it. Okay. So now question is how to know yourself or you prepared well or not. Anyone? Well or not?
Questioning ourselves.
Questioning ourselves. Correct? Let us say you ask your skills, let's say some 10 questions or 8 questions. From where you are going to get these questions?
Any book or the previously given PDFs or something by a.
Yeah. So let us say some questions, some previous exam question papers. Let us say, is that a good choice? Do you think?
Yes, sir.
Right. That is one of the good choice to get the questions of 10 questions out of that. Ask yourself and you just answer yourself whether I am in a position to able to answer those questions or not. You can check yourself. Agree? But check yourself is good, is happened good, satisfactory. Then what do you think? Yes, I am prepared very well for the exam. So I don't have any problem. That's what you can able to conclude. Is that correct? If the previous 10 question papers, the 10 questions you pick up and you are unable to answer majority of the questions, then what is the status of your check yourself activity? So in that case, you can say, oh, my knowledge is not enough. So I need to prepare more for this exam. 1 month is not sufficient. So I need to work hard. That's what the conclusion you can able to make it. Correct? Agree or not? Clear? Such a things we are just going to check here in the validation set using the 10 questions. These 10 questions you pick up from the previous question papers or something. So validation that I am separating out when the data is came, let us say 100% of the data, 80% I am keeping here, 10% I am keeping here, 20% I'm placing here. Okay. So this 10% of the data I'm using for to validate my model is trained enough or not, or trained properly or not. Is that clear? Anyone have any questions on this? A kind of a validation, a self-validation, I can say. Is it clear so far? Anyone have any questions so far? Validation set purpose, is that clear? No questions, good? Or enough? Is it clear? Samyukta
It's
or
clear.
Balakrishna? Clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
now if you are testing yourself in the validation set itself, then what is the purpose of the testing set then? Testing is already, major testing is already over. Testing is the model is trained properly or not, and everything is done. Then why the testing set is required? I give you again the same example for you. For example, you are preparing for the some exam, let's say Python exam you are preparing. You spend 1 month of time. So tell me, if you are honestly preparing, you are seriously preparing for this exam. This exam is very, very important for like a kind of a life changing for you, result of this exam. You prepare 1 month and directly attend the exam. What you will do in the middle once you prepare in the iteration basis, you keep on doing the self check. Hey, I am preparing properly or not. Will you do? Will definitely will do that. Correct. Once your self check is passed, okay, you're satisfied with your self check. This is yes. Am I preparing this exam properly or not? You do the previous exam question papers, you pick up some questions and answer yourself. And if your answering is perfect, satisfactory, then you are saying yes, my question answers are satisfactory, which means that I am preparing very well. I am in the right direction, right shape, and right achievement. After then, you have a day to attend the final exam, right? Final exam. Agree or not? This is the process we generally follow. Is that correct? If there is not a satisfactory, you have to change your preparation methods or like syllabus or maybe something, etc., to make yourself more okay, to prepare yourself better for the examination. Do you agree or not? This process. That's what we generally follow. Is it clear, everyone? Clear. So this the final exam is actual going to measure by everyone. The results of your final exam is going to be used by everyone to decide your knowledge levels. Agree or not? Let us say after final exam you got some 84 out of 100. Okay. So no one is going to come to your house and check, okay, how you are preparing, self-check, and what is the results of self-check. No one is going to worry about your self-check process. It is only your self-check process. Agree? Once your self-check is good, satisfactory for you, once you attend the final exam, so final exam, the results you got it like 84 out of 100 marks. Then everyone sees this result. There is no one is going to see results of your self-check. Do you agree or not? Is that correct process? So this is nothing but a final testing. So your knowledge levels is decided, or people comes to a come opinion that based upon your final exam results, not your self-check results. Do you agree? Clear? Samita, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
All right. So this is a testing means final testing. So the final testing of your so everyone is going to see this is for your developer testing purpose. And that's what we call a dev set or validation. Some people call it a dev set, some people call it a validation set. So this is a developer test his model, kind of a self check. Hey, is my I already trained the model? Is my model performing good or not? If model is not performing good, again he go back to the training process. He change some training methods. And you just train one more time or two more times with some different methods of the training until this validation set is validation artist validation results is good. Until he's keep on repeating this process. If once the validation is good, then developer is just going to make the final test. This is the final test. So everyone will ask, if I take my model to someone else, the someone else will never ask me what is the results of the validation set. No, they will never worry about the validation set results. They will always worry about the final test results. Hey, what is your testing set? How much testing set you use it? What is the final test result? Testing results. Testing results are good. Then everyone say, yes, your model is good. Testing results is bad. Your model is not good. Though the validation set is good. Is it clear? The purpose of the three sets, are you clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. But sometimes, again, coming back to your question, Samyukta, this validation set is not mandatory every time. This that is mentioned. If validation set is not available for me, only training and testing are available because my data is amount of data is very small amount of data. Let's say I expect say 1 million of data I expect, but user is giving only 2 lakhs. In this 2 lakhs, I'm giving 80% here, 20% here. So 100% is over. There is no allocation. I made it for that validation set. But I need to do this validation for sure. I cannot skip this validation because this self-check is mandatory. Validation is mandatory. But if without validation data, how I can able to check the validation, self-check the validation? Is it good or not? How I can make it? For that, there is some other techniques. Technique name is cross validation. Validation technique is there. The technique is useful to us. We can still able to perform the validation with the validation set. The technique is there. But when we go for this technique, if I have my data amount of data is very small amount of data I have, and I don't want to waste some of the like 5%, 10% of the data for validation set, because training generally we require the more and more information, more and more knowledge data for the training set. In this 2 lakhs of data, if I have, I generally go for 90%, 92% of the data for training, 8% of the testing. That's what I follow. Because what is my rule? Majority of the data should go to the training set. 90%, 92% of the data I go for the training set. Only 8% I go for the testing set and 0% for the validation set. But still I can able to perform the validation with the technique called cross validation technique. And this technique we are going to discuss soon about in this chapter. No need to worry. Okay. Is it clear so far?